Welcome back to Analyze This, the part of Franchise Sports, where we take your favorite sports topics and break them on down. Now today, to my immediate left, we have Mr. Shelton. To my immediate right, we have Mr. Jones. Now we have three interesting topics this evening. The first topic will be FAMU men's and women's basketball team. Now, the men's and women had a great tournament this weekend, but one of the teams lost, and I was very surprised that was the women's. What do you think about that, Mr. Shelton?
Well, coming into the tournament, the women's team, they had a better record than the men's. So I feel as that they had more pressure put upon them. As far as the men, since their record wasn't that great, they could just relax and play the game and just hope for the best.
Do you think that it had more to do with the team not preparing as hard for the men's team and the women's team that they played against prepared more? Well, how do you feel about it?
I feel like the women's team had a target on their back. All season, they were doing good. They went 14-2 in conference. That right there says you're going to have a target on your back. So you're more prone to upset than the guys were. And yes, it really did shock me to see our girls lose and the guys do better than them.
Yeah, I was pretty shocked myself. But something that did not really shock me was this weekend's win with Florida State against North Carolina. Now, I picked Florida State to win this tournament, and look what happened, they won. Now, how do y'all feel about their ranking, though? They were ranked number 3rd, and number 2 is Duke. How y'all feel about that?
Well, as far as their seeding, I think they got the seeding that they deserve, despite beating Duke and North Carolina in the championship and the semis. Even though Duke is ahead of them, they have their name, you know, and Florida State is up and coming, so this should be something they could build off of on the 3rd seed.
I think that was real interesting too. That the men's team, you know, they beat them twice, but yet they're the 3rd seed. North Carolina's the number 1 and number 2. How you feel about that?
I feel like Florida State's probably being punished because they lost to Clemson and they lost to Boston College earlier in the year. That's probably why they got lower seeding. And plus, it's the whole body of work they all look at. And you know how the NCAA tournament, the committee, they look at the whole body of work. So they look at that Florida State lost to Harvard, and they look at all that stuff. So
you think they're the best 3 seed in this tournament this year?
That's a fair statement to make.
Okay.
Because they could be a legitimate 2, but borderline 3. So.
But them seedings you can toss around really because any seeding can make it to the tournament. Just last year, you forget what seeding was VCU last year when they made it to the Final Four.
12 seed once again. 12 seed once again.
All right, and then moving on to the NBA, where the Orlando Magic has taken on the 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference. Now, Tuesday, the Orlando Magic played the Miami Heat. You know, it's a big rivalry in that division. Do you think that the Magic roster will be different? You know, the trade deadline is Thursday. Do you think Tuesday's game will be different from Sunday's game?
I think the roster will remain the same. Dwight Howard, he's a big trade piece, but the only calls that have been surfacing is from New Jersey and Golden State. As far as New Jersey goes, Brook Lopez is hurt. He's had a sprained foot again. So that's going to affect him getting traded to New Jersey in a bigger market.
How do you feel about the roster change? I mean, I know they've been talking about trading Dwight Howard, but bringing pieces in Orlando to keep Dwight Howard. So how do you feel about that?
I feel like it's probably not going to happen because even though they have the pieces, are they going to execute is the real question. And I don't think they're going to execute, and they might not need to because they're playing really well right now. So
they might be able to add someone because they have a trade exception that they got with Brandon Bass. I forget the exact number in millions, but if
4.3 million.
4.3. If they sign somebody to that, they can add another piece around Dwight, around Hito, around Jameer Nelson, hopefully build something and make him stay and give him comfortability there.
Now, I've been playing around with the little trade thing myself. Now, I was thinking that Deron Williams, because that's who Dwight Howard wants to play with. So Deron Williams, bringing him to Orlando, trade Jameer Nelson, Jason Richardson, and possibly J.J. Redick for this one player.
Throw Hito in there as well.
Well, you can't throw that many players in there, I mean, unless the Nets are willing to give up somebody else. But I'm just saying, as far as those 3 caliber players, do you think they're worth that trade to Deron Williams?
No, because New Jersey, they're moving to Brooklyn, and they need a centerpiece to build around. Right now, they have Darren Williams, so he's going to usher them. If he stays, he's going to usher the Nets into Brooklyn. You can't usher a team with role players at best into a new market like that.
I think that with Dwight Howard, he's a perfect situation for any team that's contending for a championship. So I think that'll be good for him. But I think that's all the time we have for today. So thank you all for joining us on Franchise Sports Analyze This. For Mr. Shelton, Mr. Jones, and Spencer Henderson. Make sure you join us and go to our website at franchisesportsonline.net. Till we see y'all next time, y'all have a blessed evening.